Hello, my name is Adrian Larsen, and in this video we are going to see how to create the Cloud Security Connector for Zscaler on Azure Cloud. The Cloud Security Connector is a security device with two interfaces, one internal and one external. The Cloud Security Connector provides you a way to isolate the internal infrastructure and to protect going to the internet using Zscaler. On the external side, the connector provides the tunnels to Zscaler, primary and secondary node, and also a simple way to do bypasses direct to the internet. In case you want to bypass something in particular, I don't know, Skype, for example, you can place asterisk skype.com and this traffic will be bypassed from the connector. If you want to create a connector, it is good to have prepared the internal subnet already defined. It's normally done, and an external subnet. And also you will need to have a key or password ready. And from the Zscaler point of view, you need to create the VPN credentials and a location for this connector using the VPN credentials. Let's do a quick review here. This is my environment today. I have a machine internally on this Ubuntu Azure is this machine here. I will use to SSH the connector. I have defined on the subnets on Microsoft Azure. The subnet 172.31.96 will be the external, and 172.31.200 will be the internal one. And on Zscaler, on the portal, I have defined here this full qualified domain name, authentication type, VPN credential. This is the user ID, and I have my pre-share key already in place. And using these VPN credentials, I created as well a location here. I put the same name, details, United Kingdom, but here I assigned these credentials to this location. Then this is the requirement. It's very few. Have ready the internal external subnet, create the VPN credentials, create the location on the console. This is all that you need, and the process is very simple. In order to create, as soon you click on the marketplace in our product, you will be redirected to this page, and you need to put your virtual machine name. In my case, I will put FF. I will use an SSH key, but you can use a password if you want, or SSH is same. And I will copy from here. This is my SSH key. This machine, internal machine. And the next, oops, avoid to check that there is no space, not on the beginning, not on the bottom. Subscription is pay up to go. I will select this group, my location. Okay. The next is the virtual machine settings. The size is fine. We recommend to use this small one. It's one CPU, 1 gig memory. That is fine. You don't need to change the diagnostic storage account. On virtual network, you can create free the virtual network, but I would recommend to have ready in advance. Then I will click my virtual network, and I will configure the subnets. Remember, 96 was the external, 200 the internal. Okay. And okay. And that's it. The deployment will take about 4 minutes, 3-4 minutes. What I will do is to stop this video for this time. I will back when the deployment is ready. Okay, I'm back. The deployment was succeed. Now we can view the stack. This is the configuration. If I go to my virtual machine now, I have this FF, and it's running. This starts automatically. The only that you need to do now is provisioning all the networking requirements, all cars, IPs, all the stuff is done automatically. You don't need to configure anything else other than you SSH your credentials. The first that you need to do in order to SSH the machine is to go to Ethernet 1. Remember, it's the internal interface, and go to the IP on Ethernet 1. That is this IP 200 something 11. I will back to this machine. Remember this machine, this Linux is this machine, and I will SSH the connector from here. Let me clean this first, and I will go to the SSH. The username of the connector is CSC admin, and it's fixed. You cannot change. It is the only one that the connector provides. And as soon you start, you will receive the first wizard. This wizard is for configuring the nodes, the cloud, DNS, syslog information. It's very easy to do. Let's go and let's start selecting the cloud and the nodes we want to connect. My cloud is Zscaler 3. You can verify your cloud going to your console on this. Which cloud are you using? In my case, it's Zscaler 3. I will select the node manually. I will say I want to connect to London and second Brussels. The next is the credentials information, the VPN credentials. Then you need to ingress the values of the VPN credential already created for this location. I will copy here, paste, and this is my credentials. I will take a look. That key is okay, the pre-share key is okay. Now the DNS, I will use Azure, but you can put your own DNS if you want. I'm not going to change this. The next one is the bypass URL. In case you want to bypass some particular site, you can do with the connector. Remember, the connector has the ability to read a pack file to apply the rule for bypasses. There is no need to do firewall rules or complex things. It's just to create a pack file with the domains with wildcards that you want to bypass. In my case, I have created this pack file on my console. This is called CC. This on the bottom, the 38. Come on. This let's take a look. This is the way you can define the bypass you want to do. Has some bypasses here for SharePoint, Skype for Business, type of things. But the only that I need to do in the connector is to copy the URL of this pack. Copy. And paste. And to refresh the list, what the connector did was downloading the pack file, and it's creating all the rules for Microsoft Office 365 and all the URLs that I want to bypass, and is applying the change. I'm not receiving any error on the list, and the change were applied. And finally, you need to put the syslog or SIM values. You can put here an IP or full qualified domain. I will put an IP 31.207. This is my primary syslog. Second is now and my port 514. And that's it for the moment. Just implement the values. If the connector, after this checking the node, the connector will validate if the nodes are alive or not, and it will reboot and will create all the configuration. It takes about a minute. It's not very long. Meanwhile, we are waiting for this. We can discuss about how to redirect this traffic to the connector. For the people who is familiar with the connectors, they know that all our models for Hyper-V or KVM, whatever it is, they have internally 3 IPs and externally 2. The reason why these 3 IPs is to provide all capabilities that we need. The first one is the gateway IP. Suppose you don't want to use back files or to do anything on your machines, but you want to send all traffic to Zscaler, to force everything to Zscaler. Then in this case, you can apply a route and say the default route go via the gateway IP of the connector via the tunnel to Zscaler. In case you want to use pack files because you want to send some traffic via the tunnel to Zscaler and another traffic direct to the internet because you don't want to use Zscaler for that particular traffic. In that case, the connector provides 2 IPs, and one is the virtual proxy that sends the traffic to Zscaler, and the other is bypass proxy that sends the traffic directly. And you need to create the pack file with the decision about how to discriminate the traffic. Okay, let's back to our connector now that probably is ready. Okay, it's alive. This is the main menu of the connector. We have monitoring task, we have admin task, we have the bypass proxy information, the log information, and the wizards. On the wizards, you can run the initial wizard again to change the nodes, DNS, blah, blah, blah. You can switch the tunnel. Sometimes people want to switch to do in a fast way, a switch between primary and secondary. And finally, to update the send node database in case the list is not complete, you can update the list from here. Let's take a look about the connectivity. In show configuration status, you will see the location of the connector, your subscription ID, the size of the VM, well, it's information date, the external tunnel information, and the gateway, the internal gateway. This is internal gateway. In case you want to route all traffic, you need to route the traffic via this gateway IP. Internally, if you want to use pack files, you need to point the traffic to Zscaler to this IP 12 in port 80 or 9400, and the list of bypasses pointing to 13 on port 3128. Information about DNS, information about the Zscaler node and if are alive or not. Information about the tunnel was active after this 105 seconds. And the credentials information, which the credentials are in use in this connector. The IP is zscaler.com information, so Zscaler always asks to go to ipzscaler.com and tell me the node you are using, are you gateway IP, the bypass egress information if can go out to the internet, and the AWS SSM agent. Even if the product is for Azure, you can still manage from Amazon. Yeah, but all our products are able to be managed by Amazon. Traffic on the interfaces. This is the interface traffic. You will have visibility in real time. Then let's go and send some traffic to this machine. Well, first thing I'm going to do is remember the simple architecture. On a pack file, I will point the traffic to this VIP proxy and bypass proxy. Then I need to come here, and I will take a look again and remember my IPs in this case are 12 and 13. Then I will go to my pack for in use for this demonstration, and I will put here the IPs in use. This 12 and 13. Oops, 13. I'm using variables here. If you can see, this destinations will be via the bypass proxy. Office 365 Skype will be via the bypass proxy, and the rest of the traffic will go via the tunnel to Zscaler. Let me verify this and save. And active. I will now RDP this machine. I will get access to this machine. I have this machine here, and if I go, sorry, I need to select pack file, this pack Azure. Oops. And now if I go to ipzscaler.com, I am connected via this connector. It's very easy, very easy to connect. That's it. This is all that you need to do. Now you are protected, and you can check now if you want to test connection quality, type of things. It's very fast connector, and it's depending the performance, you will get different values. This is using the pack file. In this case, of course, if I go to ipzscaler.com or some places, I will be protected by Zscaler. And in case this is on the my bypass list, in case you want to bypass some particular URL, it's all about to put on the pack file and on the pack file of the connector, and that's it. It works. Nothing more complicated for traffic to Zscaler or to bypass. The next that I'm going to demonstrate now is how to send all traffic. Suppose you don't want to use pack files, you want to go direct to the internet, right? To change this, let's say I want to go to ipzscaler.com, and you want to okay, I have a route via another connector at this moment. As you can see, when I'm using the pack file, this is my public IP, this is the connector. What I'm going to do is to point the route to all traffic via this connector with this public IP. And then I will come here to machines. Let me go to virtual networks. This subnets. Okay, this is my routing table. Okay, CSC routing table. Let's go to my routing table. And at the moment it's pointing to these connectors, this 11. Then I need to check my gateway IP. My gateway IP, sorry, 8. My gateway IP is 11. Then what I'm going to do now is to edit this route, and I will move to 11, to my new connector. It takes some time, and it takes some time to propagate, less than a minute. Then what will happen now for this subnet? This internal subnet. Now the default route to the internal for all machines on this internal subnet is the connector. Everything will travel via the tunnels. Then if I back to my machine and I go again to refresh this, still using the other one, but it takes about a minute. But let me start this again. It's taking more. This moment, what we are expecting here is that, oh no, I'm correct. It's done. 239. Okay, it's working. This I'm expecting this public IP leaving from this connector, and that's fine. Or I'm using the pack file here. No, because I'm using the pack file. Okay, now I'm going direct without pack files, and the effect is the same. It's very fast. It's very simple, very fast, not very complicated. As you can see, it's very simple to connect to Zscaler, very simple to do bypasses. It's all about to launch, select internal external interface, and point to traffic to your gateway. If you want to send all traffic, create a route, and or create a pack file pointing to the VIP proxy and bypass proxy, and that's it. All your problems, all your connectivity to Zscaler is solved. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you were happy to this video. And if you have any questions, please contact us at support@maidenheadbridge.com. Thank you very much.